what's your approach to connecting up with people and to building a business network?
I think when you move frequently, you realise that when you're in a new environment, the connections that you make are really important.
Yeah.
And I think you need to make a really deliberate effort to engage with people. And I think it's also making sure that you're actually spending the time with the right sort of people. And to me, it's not about what I get back from the people, it's actually about people that I feel like there's the right chemistry, the right integrity, the right trust with the network that I'm forming.
So tell me about the first time that you actually met Jon and engaged with Kwan and what he talks about in terms of people connecting.
Jon and I were actually seated together at a dinner. So he was, I didn't know it at the time, but he was actually the keynote speaker for the evening.
Right.
And so we spent the early part of the evening having dinner together, chatting about what we did. And I think there was just a really nice chemistry that was between the two of us. And I really enjoyed his humility, his perspective on all of his life experiences that culminated to what he does now.
And how would you describe sort of Jon's philosophy in terms of connecting and people?
Well, I think for me, I hear lots of people in business talk about relationships as being the key thing. And it is, but I think it's very, very difficult for large corporations to think about what that looks like in terms of the corporate network and many people that they're coordinating across a wide functional reach. And the thing with Jon is I think he actually breaks down something that we all think we know about, which is relating to others. And he really asks some pretty challenging questions, both at a personal level, but also at an organisational level, about how we actually engage with others.
So how did he challenge your mindset, and what have you applied of what you've learned from him, and how's that impacted on things for you?
I think one of the things that I really like about Jon is he asks twice as many questions as you can ask of him. And that is his genuine interest in others. But I think he has an appetite for learning for himself. So whilst others are learning from him, he's also learning about others. And to me, it's with Jon's philosophy, it's actually about what he's giving back to others. So often you meet people who network for what they're going to get back. But I think the real mindset shift with Jon is it's actually about the connection with others for what he can do for them as well.
And why do you think that connection-based approach to networking is so important in the modern business environment, particularly like what you mentioned where you're running a huge enterprise that operates, I mean, internationally?
Jon and I have often reflected and said there's lots of people that know lots of people. And he would coin the phrase of who's thinking of you, who woke up this morning and actually thought about you. But equally, I also like to think of it that you don't know whether you've truly got a relationship with someone until something goes wrong. So where I've been involved in international trade and there's been a breakdown in the supply chain in some capacity, it's really being able to pick up the phone and engage with the party at the other end and really understand that we're both committed to a relationship that lives and spans time rather than just the immediate transaction.
Great. And if you had to sum it up in a sentence, how would you put Jon's philosophy?
I think for Jon, the things that really impress me is his generosity to others. He is giving of himself and giving of time, and it's the absolute integrity of how he wants to connect with other people.